think we have a range advantage over pretty much everything that isn't a siege weapon. And I mean, we have infinite resources, so we're also doing pretty good there. Oh, bows, dead. Siege engine, dead. All right, now let's go see if we can blow up a wall. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Spiffing Brit, and today we're playing Age of Empires 4. That's right, it's a brand new RTS grand strategy game. Who doesn't love these lovely games? I know I do. I have hundreds and hundreds of hours in Age of Empires 2 and also Age of Empires 3, and my goodness, what incredible games they are. And Age of Empires 4 is, of course, exactly like them. And just like them, it is full of gloriously broken exploits that we will be using to destroy the fabric of reality itself. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be demonstrating how to truly generate infinite money using Jesus. That's right. All it takes is a little bit of religious magic, and who knows? Next thing you'll know, you'll be a billionaire. It turns out it really is that easy to make fantastical resources out of thin air. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to dive into a brand new game. Right, so we're gonna throw ourselves into a brand new skirmish game, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be one heck of a jazzy skirmish game. To make this very cheesy strategy much more viable, we're going to be starting in Age 3, but this strategy can genuinely work in any and all ages. Now, the interesting thing about Age of Empires 4 is that this game actually has difficulty suggestions when it comes to which nation you should be playing. For example, the French and the English are apparently the easiest nations to play, whereas the Mongols and the Russians are in fact the most difficult. This is of course completely and utterly wrong. These two nations are absolutely and utterly completely overpowered. The Mongols, for example, could immediately pick up and move their town center right next to the enemy starting town center, and then proceed to basically block each other from ever expanding and allowing them to just quite simply win the game by just moving. It's completely and utterly stupid, and it's hilarious. Meanwhile, the Russians are completely and utterly overpowered because of one jazzy thing, Jesus, and we're going to show off how to wield the power of the gods in order to generate just about infinite matter. So it's time for us to throw ourselves in the game and get cheesing. We're going to be playing against the French, the Chinese, and the Mongols, and we're going to see who we end up with. Hopefully we're not on the same team as the French. And here we go, the teams are being assigned, not the French. Oh, beads, I've been playing with the French. Oh dear, oh dear. This is pretty much every British person's worst nightmare, but hey, it looks like we now have to actually work with the French. It's fine, we can just let them distract the enemy and get beat up upon. Like, we don't need to worry about them if they die. We are going to become pretty much entirely immortal. Alright, are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? It's time for us to dive into this game and start exploiting. And of course, I've started with the map reveal just because it makes the game relatively easier to follow. So we're going to basically begin a nice early strategy of massacring the local sheep population, whilst also cutting down pretty much every tree in the known universe. Now, this map is very interesting for a few very important reasons. Number one, there is only one way to access each other. There is a single mountain pass right here where these two relics are that all units will need to pass through in order to access the enemy's terrain. Consequently, we will be cheesing it as we can use it to break the game. Right, I'm going to get a few more houses up and running as well so we can get some food production going, but generally we're looking to get ourselves a large enough quantity of wood so that we can build ourselves our first monastery. And this monastery is going to allow us to pretty much break the entire game. And now that we have our supply of wood sorted as well as basically food, we're now also going to need to start generating the most important resource in pretty much every game, and that is money. Now, the normal means of generating gold in this game are pretty boring. Set up a marketplace and trade with the random local peasants. Alternatively, dig gold mines and generate fantastical quantities of wealth. All of these methods are boring. Instead, we will be using enlightened methods of gold gathering. What is enlightened gold gathering? Well, it's using Jesus to generate your money. As in Age of Empires 4, very similar to Age of Empires 2, you can pick up lovely relics. So there's 7 relics scattered all around the map that need to be collected. Each relic will generate you 100 gold per minute, meaning if you were to gather all 7 relics, you could get 700 gold per minute. Alright, now we finally have enough money where we can train our first money generating boy, the warrior monk. Now, most religious buildings in the game can only produce regular boring monks that walk around with sticks. The Russians, however, decided to put their monks on horses, making them pretty darn jazzy. They're not only faster, but they can also heal units and capture relics. Capturing and picking up relics is of course going to be a great moneymaker. Now, we're actually going to need more monasteries than we currently have constructed, so I'm going to build myself a second monastery, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, a second second monastery. And using our first religious monkey boy, we're actually going to go and pick up the relic that is kind of in enemy terrain. Now we're also going to start building a lot more warrior monks because trust me, we're going to need a lot of them. But you might notice there's already a little bit of an interesting thing going on with this strategy. For a start, I'm kind of doing it wrong. Because if there are only 7 relics on the map and each monastery can only hold 20 relics, then what's the point of building multiple monasteries? It's not like they give any large bonus or modifier that makes your empire stronger. No, the only reason for controlling them is the fact that it allows you to make warrior monks faster. But they're not exactly going to become the backbone of your military, so what's the point? Well, there's only one way to find out, ladies and gentlemen, and trust me, it's very entertaining. Right, our first relic has arrived, and we're actually going to garrison it into here, and bam, would you look at that? We are now making 100 gold a minute. Yay! Look at that. That's actually increased our gold income by 50%. That's pretty nice. Right, now it's time for us to make a few more of these lovely warrior monks, as I really need to get my lovely exploit underway, and for that we need more of these religiousy boys. At the same time, we could probably do some more money to make even more religiousy boys, so I'm going to have to start selling a little bit of food, as well as also a little bit of wood, and a little bit more food, and a little bit more food. There we go. You see, we just need money, because more money is more warrior monks, which in turn is going to become more money. It might not sound like it's going to make sense, but trust me, it's going to make a lot of sense. Right, now we have a fair bit of wood lying around, so I'm going to sell most of it so that I can buy 2 more warrior monks, and there we go. Our warrior monk production is now looking rather good. We have 13 warrior monks lying around. Now it's probably time we actually start generating money, and so we're going to begin in what is probably not the most efficient way, but still we need money and we need it fast. So we're going to get another monastery built. This is going to be a money-making monastery of complete and utter madness. So what you do is you get your worker over here and you start building a monastery. Now this monastery is going to store relics, but remember, we only currently have 1 relic. There's only 7 on the map, so we can't exactly fill it with relics, unless, you know, we could. And that's where a magical process I like to call creative accountancy comes into the picture. So now that we have a very nice large amount of warrior monks lying around, in fact we have 21, we're going to take our 1 relic from here and place it into here. Now remember, we have 1 relic inside of this temple, 21 warrior monks, and an empty temple over here. So we're just going to select them to grab this 1 relic, and very interestingly, all 21 of them grab a relic, despite there only being 1 relic. They then can all place all 21 relics inside of here, despite the capacity only being 20. This is relatively broken, and this monastery now has minus 20 relics, making it useless and consequently deleted. So this place now makes 2,100 gold a minute. That's more gold than we could ever really spend. We're going to take 1 relic from there and dump it into here. Next up, we're going to grab 22 warrior monks, grab the 1 relic that we put inside of here, duplicate it 22 times, and dump it in this one. And watch as we make fantastical money in the process. Ah, perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Now, we're going to want a few more warrior monks, and luckily we have enough money lying around where we can do just that. At the same time, we can buy pretty much all of the resources we need for the rest of the game. Consequently, we no longer need useless people mining gold. So instead, they shall start building us probably a few more monasteries. We're going to be needing them if we want to make enough money. So away you go, my friends, get building. Right, now we are currently up to a few more warrior monks than we previously started with, 34 in total, and we're now going to have all 34 of them pick up the 1 relic that sits inside of this temple, consequently turning 1 relic into 34, and then we're going to dump all 34 relics inside of this monastery. Remember, the capacity is only meant to be 20, but you know, life finds a way. Let's just delete this boring regular temple, it's useless, and fantastic, we can now just keep repeating this process. So 1 relic from here, dump it into here, select all of the men, pick all of them up, and dump them into the next temple. Fantastic, it looks like we're almost in the next era. Now the next era is where things are also going to get very, 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 very broken. How broken? Oh, well, it's majestically broken, my friends. Right, now we currently have 42 warrior monks. This is quite a crazy quantity of them, and we're going to get them to all pick up this 1 relic in here, consequently duplicating it to 42 and dumping it all inside of this temple. And now we're also going to have our temple's research tithe. Now, previously we've been getting 100 gold per relic that we own, and we now own a lot of relics, probably about 200 of them. However, with this bit of research, we will also be getting 30 food, 30 wood, and 30 stone every minute for each relic we control. This is very good. Right, now in order for us to actually control the map, very interestingly, you know, there's only 1 way in and out of each other's defensive areas, so consequently, I'm just going to build myself a castle right in enemy terrain. This is a fantastic way of asserting asserting dominance and making sure they know who really controls the land. Consequently, I'll also need to send over some lovely archers to fight. And now I think we have actually researched tithe, and consequently our resource production is now going to start getting a little bit insane. Ah yes, you just saw all of those numbers pop up there. Suddenly peasants are no longer needed as we have effectively mechanized the entire workforce. Who needs people? People are slow. Right now we have a whole bunch of these bombards, so I think it is only natural that we, put them down. We're also going to move all of our troops out of the way and load everyone that we can into the castle. There we go. Now that our castle is suddenly defended, it's going to be very jazzy and powerful. Ah yes, effectively our castle has now become a machine gun turret. It is very, very powerful. Oh, the AI is kind of balked out and thinks it can traverse the terrain here. Good for them. I don't think they can. Okay, so the AI can now no longer actually pass through this glorious setup that we've created. However, it needs more defenses, and consequently we will build ourselves a gigantic fortified wall. One that is actually completely and utterly impossible to pass, guaranteeing us a total defensive victory. But yes, we now have pretty much a near infinite source of money, which is going to fuel our empire to glorious victory. All that's left is for us to, make more money. And now anyway, using all of our lovely warrior monks that are lying around over here, it's time for us to start creating an ultimate battle force that allows us to conquer the map without using any of our own men. After all, we can just hide behind our glorious Giga Wall now. Oh, would you look at that? The enemy are attacking again. Well, into the castle I go, just to, defend it a bunch and watch as the Chinese launch a pretty useless attack on my glorious walls. And there we go, now they're retreating. Good attempt, guys, good attempt. Alright, now I'm just going to buy all of the lovely upgrades because we might as well. And now it's time for us to duplicate a few more relics. So we pick one up in here, dump it into here, and then basically all duplicate it. Oh, that's a lovely noise. And then dump it all into here for infinite wealth and prosperity. Now, we can actually do something very unique as well with all of this. Because we're able to duplicate relics, we're able to duplicate the abilities of relics. And relics have one very useful purpose. Monks can do two things. They can heal and they can convert, but they can only convert when they hold relics, making the process of converting enemy troops relatively dangerous, because you have to be able to use some of the few and rare relics that exist on the map. However, relics are not rare on this map because I have broken the entire economy of relics, and now I can steal whatever I like from the enemy, because I can activate the convertibility 41 times instantly in this glorious radius that absolutely destroys the FPS and balance of the game. Oh look, they're attacking again. Look at them go. Look at them try. They kind of got a little bit close that time. Okay, not very. But anyway, we actually don't want to attack them. Instead, we're going to try and convert these men. That's right. We're just going to wander past them, get our men to lovely stand ground, and activate the convertibility on all of these lovely men. So there we go. We'll start converting these glorious foot soldiers, and some of them will become ours. Actually, I don't think any of them became ours because we killed them too quickly. Yeah, this is the one downside with this strategy. When you're wondering where with 41 battle monks, they can actually do a little bit of damage as well. Now, one of the benefits of conversion are that we can actually convert pretty much everything, including just the actual workforce of the local peoples, which is, as you can probably imagine, quite useful. Oh, here we go. The Chinese are now attacking us again. Let's see how they do. We're going to actually bring out our converty boys because we can. So we'll just convert all of the local foot soldiers onto our side immediately. And there we go. We've just borrowed some enemies. So for the cost of 0 warrior monks, we have managed to pick up 3 elite lancers. Ooh, very cool. As well as 1 elite spearman. Ooh, and 2 elite men-at-arms. Right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it is actually time. Time for us to do something very silly. We are going to start amassing the largest army the world has ever seen. What army are they going to be? They're going to be the Streltsy, ladies and gentlemen. Glorious musket-wielding bad boys who are now going to try and amass and swarm the enemy encampments. We are going to make a lot of them. How many? About 105. These 105 glorious battle soldiers are going to do a splendid job. Okay, now the mass of Streltsy is forming nicely. There's 88 of them so far. This is looking pretty good actually, and wabam. With our capacity reached, we have 103 Streltsy lying right here, and it's time for us to valiantly release them upon the world. And most importantly, see if we can use their gunpowder to actually blow up a wall. I don't know if it is possible, but I kind of just want to see. Alright, men, open fire on the horses. Oh yes, it's like a machine gun over here with the Streltsy. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Alright, men, line up on the hill and do your best. Yes, gun down those lovely priests and civilians. Oh, it's glorious. It truly is. In fact, pretty much anything we run into, we can just kill instantly. I think we have a range advantage over pretty much everything that isn't a siege weapon. And I mean, we have infinite resources, so we're also doing pretty good there. Oh, bows, dead. Siege engine, dead. All right, now let's go see if we can blow up a wall. Okay, I don't know if it's possible, but the AI thinks it can blow up this tower here, which might be enough to let me inside. Oh, and look, some bowmen. Let's just defeat them quickly. There we go, just open fire. Right, destroy that trebuchet as well. And now let us use bullets to somehow blow up a stone wall tower. Oh wait, we don't need to. There's actually a gap. They left a gap. We can just walk in. Oh my goodness, they just chopped down their own trees, meaning we can just wander into their own little town. Lovely. Right, let the war crimes commence. The houses won't stand up to bullets if there's enough bullets. Oh look, they're basically just made of paper. Alright, now that's a tower that needs to be destroyed. Men, use bullets to somehow destroy a tower because you're effectively a minigun at this point. Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice that I am more than happy to take. Oh my goodness, yes, you can destroy the tower. Yes, you really can destroy the tower. Oh, there will be no survivors. Oh my goodness, they're just firing on the civilians. They really are. They just shot 700 bullets into a single civilian. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is kind of ridiculous, but hey. So there's the enemy town center, and all we need to do is blow it up to win, and I think we might be able to do that. We just might. Well, it's honestly their fault for kind of just creating a gap in the wall for me to walk in through. I do appreciate that the Mongolians are really trying their best to actually bring forces in range here to assist. The only issue is those forces, you know, basically die to sustain machine gun fire. Or you have a cannon, very nice, but your cannon is now dead. Or you have a catapult, very nice, but that is also now dead. And the writing is on the wall here, as we have definitely managed to completely and utterly defeat the Chinese. And we only took minimal casualties whilst doing so, I'd like to say. We're only down to 93 Streltsky. Right, now I'm just going to unleash them on this local area, and they can cause some chaos trying to tear up the buildings, and I will send in the next wave of reinforcements. Right, now the Mongolians have set up their base here, and all I need to do is blow up that town center before they have time to relocate it. So, away we go, ladies and gentlemen. Straight into the unknown chaos. Oh, look, they're actually trying to send stuff our way, which is fine, because we can then blow it up. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Blow up all of the battering rams, the horses, and now the town center needs to fall. There's 13 peasants in there, but don't worry. 13 peasants are quite easy. Oh, look, they're charging us with horses. Horses, once again, not very good against bullets, so they are dead. However, the town hall is still doing good. They've still got a lot of health. I guess I can send in these forces here to just work as a distracting conversion force. So let me just initiate distracting conversion play number 1, and we'll just steal the enemy forces. There we go. They are mine. And yes, the enemy town center is now crumbling to pieces. Battle monks, you know what to do. Attack the civilian building. Yes, kill all of those villagers that have spewed out. Yes, die, villagers, die. Ah, glorious, 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 glorious. Right, now the other landmark we have to blow up is their Khanate Palace over here, which shouldn't be too difficult. We have 94 Streltsky lying around, so it's pretty much just a straight wander over there. Meanwhile, the warrior monks are going to repeatedly beat up civilians, making sure they can't rebuild their town. Oh look, some horses. Right, horses, die! Yes, glorious death to horses. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, despite the fact that we are attacking this lovely building in range of a castle and 2 towers, I think we should be completely fine, as human casualties are merely temporary casualties, my friends. And wabam, they have been eliminated. That is total and complete victory. We gained infinite money by having infinite relics inside of a church, infinitely hyping our population to somehow convert the raw power of faith into just pure unadulterated matter that could be used to build the greatest and easily replaceable army the world has ever seen. So, how did that game go? Well, it went pretty well. It was victory for myself and the French, despite the fact that the French didn't exactly do much. This is a timeline of something, I guess, but this is the most important timeline here, the total score section. As you can see, we won when it came to total score with a total score of 12,718. However, very interestingly, we didn't win the economy score. No, because if we go to the economy tab, ladies and gentlemen, we produced 238,000 food, 237,000 wood, 154,000 stone, and, you know, just under 1 million gold. But apparently that wasn't fortunate enough to beat the French and gain a high total economic score. No, in fact, we got the worst total economic score of the entire game. I don't know how that has happened. Oh dear, oh dear. Now, of course, when it came to military as well, we did fantastic. We only lost apparently 8 buildings. We did lose 46 men, but you know, casualties don't really count. You know, it doesn't really matter. Who cares about the peasants? Anyway, that was a total and glorious victory for us, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have indeed enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a like. And heck, if you did enjoy what you saw today, then do consider subscribing. The reasoning is very simple. If you like breaking games or playing them in very, very strange ways like this, then you're probably going to love this channel. Because yes, we decided to play Age of Empires 4 using only the power of religion. Because who needs trees? Who needs farms? Who needs gold mines? And who even needs trade when all you need is a band of 46 hypey monkey boys duplicating so-called relics out of thin air, claiming them to be probably the finger of Christ, and then ramming them into a church for hundreds of thousands of peasants to worship and hype up. This is true and total economic power. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't stop me, I will 100% recreate this in the real world tomorrow, and it will be glorious. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. If you have indeed enjoyed today's video, then hey, you know what to do. Feel free to like it. And as always, a huge thank you to each and every one of our amazing patrons whose names you see on screen now. They are fantastic, majestic sausages that make all of my videos all the more possible. And heck, if you sat there wondering what video you'd like to watch next, well, guess what? If you enjoyed Age of Empires 4, you're probably gonna love this. Anyway, I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have an absolutely lovely day, and goodbye for now.